Hey everybody, you found Flint's Constitutional Speakeasy. Welcome to the channel. My name is Brian. If you go down in the description, you're going to see links to my previous videos, so if you haven't seen those yet, I'd appreciate it if you could check those out. Also, there's a link to my Facebook page, which is pretty dead right now because this is a new channel. Hopefully that'll get moving once this channel grows. So, what this video is about is the second part of my response to why I voted the way I did. And the reason why I think that's important to communicate with you is I think that's one of the major problems that we have when we're talking on social media or even in person. We're not taking the time to understand the reasons why people who didn't vote the way we did voted. And there are a lot of assumptions out there. There are a lot of stereotypes about the types of people that vote right and the types of people that vote left. And I think that we need to start individualizing those decisions. Because yes, there are a lot of things that progressives vote on that I completely disagree with. And there are a lot of things that conservatives vote on that I completely disagree with. And to pigeonhole or to place me in a box, I think is unfair, and it would be unfair for me to do the same for you. So, on the first video of this, I was talking about why I actually voted the way I did. This video is going to be responding to the reasons why those who disagree with me think I voted the way I did. And I have very strong opinions, and I'm going to be talking about three things, because these are the things that come up. Trans rights, let's just call it LGBTQ rights, abortion, and immigration. There are a lot of assumptions about what my opinions on those three things are, and I am going to try to change your mind. And I hope you do listen to this, because I think that you're going to find that my views are actually a little progressive when it comes to these things. So, anyway, enough of this introduction. I'm going to be doing a very bad edit into the second half of this video, which I recorded about a month ago. And then I'll see you on the other end to introduce the song. So, I hope you enjoy. Thank you. I want to also touch on the reasons why you think I voted the way I did. And I've heard it from enough of you to believe that if you did not vote for Trump, you believe that Trump supporters are misogynistic and racist and hate democracy through each one of those things. Oh, transphobic as well. Let's start with that. Everybody seems to think that Donald Trump wants to take away their rights, round them up, put them on a train and send them off somewhere. That is not what he said. What he's talking about is allowing people born biologically male competing in women's sports and changing in women's locker rooms, especially when they're underage. We need to think carefully about whether or not we allow that to happen. If you allow a 6'6" person that was born biologically male to compete in women's sports that might be contact sports, you are putting women in danger. If you allow these people that were born male to compete in women's sports, you are taking opportunities away from people who were born as women, as female, when they have probably been working their whole life to get to the point in college where they can get a scholarship and a degree and achieve their dreams. And there's plenty of examples of that, but Leah Thomas being the most famous, and then the athlete on, San Jose State volleyball team. Leah Thomas, as a man, couldn't make the cut on the swimming team. Now this person was winning all sorts of awards and breaking all sorts of records. What about all the girls? What about all the women that have been working years and years and years to achieve these things? Just taken away. the progressive left is not really concerned about that. They're more concerned with the trans person's rights than they're about women's rights. So women got completely passed over. Sticking with the trans issue, I understand that clinically there's something called gender dysphoria. However, I think we are grossly mistaken when we allow anybody under the age of 18 to get gender affirming surgery. That is a permanent mutilation of their body and of internal systems based off of the opinion of an adolescent with the permission of their parent, which I think is almost criminal. If you've studied brain development science at all, you would know that the ability to understand long-term consequences of decisions is not developed in the brain until well into the 20s. And a lot of times, and this is where I might get a lot of people upset with me, I think a lot of times an adolescent who feels that they are a different gender is doing so because adolescence is hard and you're trying to figure out who you are and where you fit in this awkward 6, 7, 8 years of your life. And sometimes it's a convenient, easy answer to just say, maybe there's gender dysphoria going on. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. And how about we wait until you get to be an adult to make up that decision, to make that decision. Because if you do those things, there's no coming back from it. And there are some good studies that show a massive increase in suicidal thoughts after the fact as well. Because what they're trying to cope with in their brain wasn't fixed, and that problem is still there. And now they're like, I tried to fix it, and now I'm stuck with this permanent mutilation, and the problem is still there. So I just think regardless of the science, regardless of the reality, we need to wait. We need to protect the children. And again, I thought that was a progressive thing, protecting those who can't protect themselves. The Democratic Party is not interested in doing that. And I've talked to people who said, no, we should allow it for free, taxpayer money. And I definitely don't want my taxpayer money to go to it. If that's extreme MAGA, if you think that's wrong, then I don't want to have these values of yours in common. Because these are my values, protecting the kids, making sure that we don't erode women's rights in exchange for LGBTQIA trans rights. So the other issue is abortion. If those of you who aren't happy that I voted for Trump, you assume that I, want to control women's bodies. Well, I'll just say that's not true. And Trump doesn't believe that either. And in fact, Trump said October 1st, I think, and several times before and after, if a national abortion ban comes from Congress to his desk, he will veto it. Because he did what was constitutionally proper. And he didn't do it. The Supreme Court justices voted that Roe versus Wade was legally flawed based off of the Dobbs case, right? And so what it did is it said the issue of abortion needs to return to every individual state. And that's really where it belongs. Because the 10th Amendment of the Constitution states that any power not explicitly given to the federal government in the Constitution automatically reverts to the state. I think it even says, if not the state, the local government, but we'll just say the state. It belongs with the state, and that means you get to vote on it instead of your representative in Congress and then having to get tied up in that whole checks and balances thing. That is decidedly pro-abortion. And yeah, there's going to be some states that are going to go the other way first, but the overwhelming feeling is that abortion should be legal in certain cases. And it's going to get there, and it's going to get there in a permanent way. Nevada's already done it. They already passed a law that said if Roe was ever overturned, abortion would be legal based off of a law that's just been sitting there waiting to be activated. And every state will do that. But let's look at abortion for a second. Now, where's my dog in the fight? I am over 50. I do not have a wife. I do not have kids. I do not have a daughter. Why do I care? Well, listen carefully to this because it is important to me. And it is one tiny detail. I'm actually pro-choice. But I require that demarcation between legal and illegal. I don't care what it is. 10 weeks, 15 weeks, 20 weeks, 25, 30, whatever we decide as a country or as individual states is fine with me, but we have to have that. And here's why. Our country is based off of Enlightenment thinking. And Enlightenment thinking, especially John Locke, says that we all have natural rights, and rights that are not given to us by the government, but ours because we are alive on this planet. And that the Bill of Rights, the first 10 amendments, are restrictions on the government against them taking away those rights. But the only way we get those rights is by being alive, being a human being. So, when is that? And that's where it gets tricky. The problem is that there is no distinct line that says, now this life has rights. And we need that. Because if we don't have a very specific time when we get our rights, then we can play loosey-goosey with it and start to erode those rights. And trust me, there are politicians that would love nothing more than gaining more power by weakening our natural rights or even taking them away. Just look at the arguments over the Second Amendment, look at the arguments over speech in the last few years, and religious tolerance and those things. If they can weaken them or get rid of them altogether, they would be happy. So if we don't have a specific time when they begin, that gives an opportunity to mess around with it. Because, for instance, viability. If a baby is born and left alone, it would die. So viability isn't after being born. That baby needs to be taken care of. That baby is dependent for years and years and years before it could take care of itself. Or how about the old man that's on the machines, and the machines in the hospital are keeping him alive? Is that a viable life? Does that mean that person loses all of their natural rights? I think it's very reasonable of me to say that we need to protect those who cannot speak for themselves and make sure that we are protecting their rights, because that is the function of government, according to John Locke. The government is there to protect people's rights, and therefore we need to define when those rights begin. And the reason why I don't think that the Democrats want to do that is because every single one that I have asked, every single one, cannot define a specific time. 10 weeks, 15 weeks, 20 weeks. I said, how about the day before they're born? They don't even say that. Why do you care, they say. And I tried to explain it, but they don't hear me. So I don't want to control anybody's body. I want us to be able to define when our natural rights that nobody can take away begin. I think that's reasonable. So we could compromise. Say the Republicans want to ban it outright. And let's say the progressives say it's none of your business. Well, let's just compromise. Let's say 20 weeks. Let's say 25 weeks. They're a little upset. You're a little upset, but abortion is legal, so you're a little happy. Abortion is not absolute, so they're a little happy. That's how this country works. Okay, last one. I know this is going to be a little longer of a video. I'll try to tighten it up, but I think it's important stuff. Immigration. The way that it's been classified or categorized, described, I don't know what word I'm looking for, it doesn't matter. The way it's been described, I think is inaccurate. Jimmy Kimmel, after the election, he was sobbing on his show, saying that immigrants that are working hard should fear. I'm paraphrasing what he said. It was a bad day for immigrants that are working hard. That's not what we're concerned about. We are concerned about the ease of entry. I'm not worried about immigration. We need immigration. That's what made this country so wonderful. But we have a process. And that process is you apply and you fill out the paperwork and you wait in line like everybody else. And I don't know what the number is, and I'll research it and put it right down here. But there are millions of people who are trying to do it the right way. They're sitting in their country waiting for the government to say, yes, you may now come to the United States. Here's your papers. You may get to work. But they're waiting in line, and all these other people are cutting in front. And I don't think that's fair. On top of that, we don't know what's coming across the border. And what we do know is pretty scary. We do know that over 100 people on the terrorist watch list are running around America somewhere. You realize it only took 19 terrorists in the United States to pull off 9/11. And we've got over 100 running around. We don't know what's going on. And who knows about the fentanyl that's coming across. From what I hear, there's like enough fentanyl to kill our entire population. And that's just coming across the border. And child trafficking is just so absurdly disgusting and heartbreaking. It's kind of a big deal up here in northern Nevada. And we can prevent all those things by not sealing the border. I almost said sealing the border, but we need to strengthen the border. Let's put up that wall. Let's create ways in which we can stop all of these people coming across. Let's create a system that's a little easier maybe so that you don't have millions and millions of innocent people running across the Mexico desert and then getting exploited by cartels just across the border. Let's control it. I'm not saying kick everybody out. I'm not saying, seal the border. I'm saying we need to stop the illegal immigration. And there shouldn't be, and it's impossible to stop, but there shouldn't be one American citizen ever murdered by somebody that's in here illegally. And so I'm thinking of the people that are trying to do it the proper way. Nobody is looking out for their interest and their rights. And everybody's saying that we're heartless because of all of these people that we want to kick out. It's a horrible situation and it needs to be solved. We need to stop people from doing it. So if you think that, I want to kick out all the people picking fruit, no, that's not it. And it's intellectually dishonest. And Trump didn't say that. He never said that. Those are the reasons why most people feel that I voted the way I did, and I hope I hope I clarified that for you. I hope you realize that I do have values, and I care about women's rights, and I care about the LGBTQ community, but I also don't think that they should take away other people's opportunities in the ways that I described. I worry about our children. I'm a teacher. I see it every day, and it's heartbreaking to me when I see how they can be exploited. That is why I voted the way I do. And if it described it in such a way that you didn't expect, I don't blame you. It's just the way we are. That's the way we are right now. We are making assumptions and we're not understanding each other's point of view. And if we take some time to understand each other's point of view, maybe we can find some common ground on which we can compromise and make this country a better place. It is never going to be exactly the way you envision it, and will never be exactly the way I envision it. But we are not so far apart on our values. So I hope I made my point across on this video, and I do know it was biased because I'm talking mainly from my point of view and my perspective. But I think it's important, and I hope that we can move forward with it. Well, there you have it. That's my response to those of you who disagree with the way I voted and why you think I voted the way I did. And I hope that your assumptions have been proven to be incorrect, because I feel like I've got some pretty sophisticated and nuanced views on society. And the reason is because we have to find a way through all of this to keep it constitutional. And here's the hardest part. A right, whether it's fundamental, human, basic human, whatever you want to call it, constitutional, a right cannot be a right if it takes away or diminishes the rights of others. And that's where it gets tricky. And that's why I am an anti-federalist. I'm getting the terminology right now. And I feel like most of these decisions should go to the state, because that's what the Constitution requires. Anyway, you may still disagree with me. You may even disagree with my interpretation of some of the facts that are out there. That's okay. That's the whole point of a free society. So I hope you enjoyed this video regardless. And I promise that the next one is going to be a lot less biased. And I hope going forward, I won't be injecting so much of my ideology into these videos. And although that's impossible, right? Bias is always there. Our song for today. This is the first time you're going to hear me sing. I'm a little scared about that. And the reason I chose this song was because, for two reasons, really. When I see or read or hear what people think my value system is based off of just what I voted for, I ask myself, seriously, you haven't even asked me. You haven't asked me what my opinion is. And when I have conversations with friends in person, sometimes they just don't listen to me, and they just form an opinion that has nothing to do with what I just said. And again, I go, haven't you been listening to me? Why aren't you asking me? And so, here we go. I'm playing bass. I'm also singing it. Are You Leading Me On? General public. Hope you enjoy. Say you'll be there. I'll change my clothes and wash my hair. Say that you might. I'd sit outside your door all night, quiet as a mouse. Say yes, then I'll go to our mom's house. You say you care. I'll go to the foot of our stairs. But are you leading me on? Or is there something behind it? Well, I don't know, but I'm meaning to find out. Is there something you're hiding? Oh, are you leading me on? Look how you're having me at it. Well, I don't know, but I'm meaning to find out. Come on, are you leading me on? Let's give for a mistake. It's behaving like it's going out of date. Say thanks a lot. You beat me to the early touch, but are you leading me on? Or is there something behind it? Well, I don't know, but I'm meaning to find out. Is there something you're hiding? Oh, are you leading me on? Look, are you having me at it? Well, I don't know, but I'm meaning to find out. Come on, are you leading me on?
Especially designed to make you show him, Papa. You will be strong. say that you might. I'd sit outside your door all night, quiet as a mouse. Say yes and I'll go to our mom's house. Say that you care. I'll go to the front of our stairs, but are you leading me on? Or is there something behind it? I don't know, but I'm meaning to find out. Is there something you're hiding? Oh, are you leading me on? Look, all you have on the attic. I don't know, but I'm meaning to find out. Come on, are you leading me on?